Hey everyone, I'm the Anime Watcher, and today I have watched Attack on Titan Season 1 in 0.25x speed and found 66 amazing details that you may or may not have seen before. To not wasted any of your time, let's get into it. Detail number 1. The series pick up at Eren Yeager and Mikasa resting at a flower field. He has a flash of a dream about the Titans, but that's not a dream. It's a glimpse of his future that his future self sent him to ignite his passion, because Eren has the power of the Attack Titan, which lets him control and see the past and the future of himself. Detail number 2. They gave us a hint about who is the main character in the intro song already. 8 people standing among the dead corpses. But did you notice that these 8 people are the only main characters who survive until Season 4? This is a brilliant foreshadowing of who will live and who will die throughout the series, but we might have overlooked it the first time we watched it. Detail number 3. When Eren Yeager shouts at his father at the dining table that they will never give up, or the nightmare will never end, we can see the shock on his father's face. He remembers that he has a mission to do, as future Eren told him, and asked him to kill the Rice family for him. Detail number 4. When the Titans break through Wall Maria, we see them use a very unique ship to evacuate people from Wall Maria to Wall Rose. But did you notice that their ship is unlike any other ship that we have seen? It uses a long steel cable to move the ship from the top. Remember, these people never knew or saw the sea before, so they don't understand the concept of ship propellers. Detail number 5. The reason why the human settlements are divided into smaller districts instead of living in the massive wall is because they can trap the Titans inside those districts if they ever breach the wall. Titans are attracted to where humans are most concentrated, so the districts serve as bait and defense. Detail number 6. The people inside the wall rely on the underground for their resources. But later, this dome became the underground city, where the poor and the oppressed lived. These were the descendants of the workers who toiled there. Detail number 7. Some people might wonder why the armored Titan didn't demolish all the walls if he could smash through one. But if you look closely, you will see that the wall that the armored Titan broke was the brick wall that humans built as a gate door, not the wall made out of Titan bodies. Detail number 8. Did you notice that when the soldier rescued Eren and Mikasa, Eren didn't have the key around his neck yet? But after a night, when they arrived at Wall Rose by the ship, he woke up and had the key around his neck. That means that the whole incident of devouring the Rice family must have happened between that day and his father must have come to get him when Mikasa was asleep or away. Detail number 9. When Eren gets punched and both Mikasa and Armin calm him down, we can spot a man who looks like Eren from the future. In theory, this is actually Eren from the future who came to see if everything went according to his plan. Detail number 10. In this scene, when Eren Yeager says he is from Shiganshina, we can see the shock and guilt on Bertolt's face. That's also the reason why Bertolt helps Eren to train, because he feels guilty. Detail number 11. In this scene, the animators already hinted at Eren Yeager being a Titan, because when he hit his head during the training session, there was smoke coming out from his head. This was because his Titan ability was automatically healing him, but we thought it was just a funny animation. Detail number 12. Did you know that 𝐒𝐫𝐨𝐧 was the commander of the Scouts before Erwin Smith? He was also the one who Eren saw when he was still young. But his appearance changed so much because he was depressed about many of his soldiers dying. And some fans didn't notice that he was the same person until he revealed his backstory in a later season. Detail number 13. When Eren questions the training program, he wonders why they need to train to fight with people while their enemies are the Titans. The reason why they have this training program is because they already know that there are enemies inside the wall, as Commander Erwin Smith suspect. Detail number 14. The reason why Bertolt came to attack them in this scene was because he noticed that Eren inspired a lot of people who wanted to join the military police to change their minds and join the Scouts. He transformed to attack them because he wanted to scare them off and remind them how terrifying the colossal Titan is. Detail number 15. In the castle scene, Commander 𝗕𝗲𝗯 challenges him to a game of chess. The king casually reaches for a cookie, but he does not take it from the edge of the plate, as a normal person would. He grabs it from the middle, showing his greed and arrogance. Detail number 16. Amidst the chaos and carnage of the battlefield, Mikasa clings to one precious thing, the red scarf that Eren gave her. Detail number 17. Before the recruits faced the Titans for the first time, the camera panned over many familiar faces, but Bertholdt and Reiner were conspicuously absent. Why? Because they were the Titans, of course, but we didn't realize it yet. To make matters more confusing, the animators deliberately drew these two characters to resemble Bertholdt and Reiner, hoping to mislead the fans who might suspect their true identities. With so many names to remember, we wouldn't pay much attention. It's a clever trick from the animators. Detail number 18. Did you know that the city they are fighting for is not just a fictional creation, but a replica of a real city in Germany? And that city also had a wall around it, just like in the anime. This confirms that the world of Attack on Titan, or at least the Eldian people inside the wall, are based on the German people in real life. This makes sense considering the historical parallels of how Eldians were persecuted and discriminated by other nations, even though the newborn babies had no choice in their fate. Detail number 19. Eren's rage was not the cause of his team's demise. He chased the Titan that devoured his friend. The future Eren controlled these mindless Titan to eat his friend to ensure his future plan, and make Eren more rage. Detail number 20. Armin's life was spared by a Titan that gobbled up Eren. It stared at him with curiosity but did not bite. Why? Because Eren from the future was pulling the strings. He had the power to command the mindless Titans, and he chose to let Armin live. But he did not extend the same mercy to his other comrades. He had to let them die, to fuel his present self's anger. He had to ensure his own existence. Detail number 21. In this heartbreaking scene, when Armin tells this girl to stop saving her boyfriend's life, it might seem to the audience that she should continue to save him because he might be alive. Why does Armin yell at her with such a horrible expression? Well, it's because in this scene in the manga, her boyfriend's body was ripped in half. That's why Armin yells at her like that. Detail number 22. The reason Mikasa was so happy and proud when this little girl thanked her was because it reminded her of herself and her mother when she was still alive. Detail number 23. This scene reveals that the Ackerman clan were Asian people, not because they had black hair, but because of their culture. The thing that her mother taught her to do was a tradition seen in some Asian countries, like China. Detail number 24. Did you notice the buildings in the town that they were protecting in Wall Rose? They were much taller, and many of them were built from stone, unlike Wall Maria, where Eren came from, where the houses and buildings were wooden and only had a few floors. This shows the financial difference between the outside wall and the inside wall. Detail number 25. When Mikasa heard about Eren's death from Armin, she went all out fighting the Titans so fast that she ran out of gas. But did you notice that when she ran out of gas and fell down, her blade also fell away from her? But in this scene, we see her still holding her blade. That might be a little mistake from the animation team. Detail number 26. In this scene, when Mikasa decides to give up and the Titan is about to grab her, we see a split second of the blood cells in her body. This is when Mikasa's Ackerman blood activates automatically, even though she has already given up. Detail number 27. Did you notice that in this fight scene, they already gave us a hint about who the traitors were? Because everyone was scared at least once, even Mikasa. But these four didn't show any emotion during all that crazy fight. Detail number 28. When Eren was eaten by another small Titan, Reina immediately jumped to the conclusion that they had to save that Titan for later study. But the truth was that he knew exactly that it was the Attack on Titan, and he wanted to eat Eren to gain the Attack on Titan power. Detail number 29. When Eren transformed into a Titan again to protect his friends from the cannon, notice that only 4 of them jumped to the roof to see what happened. Of course, these 3 rushed to see because they were afraid that Eren would get killed, and they wouldn't get to eat him and gain his power. But Jon rushed to see because he worried about his friend. This showed his true colors, that he really cared, even if he acted harshly to Eren. Detail number 30. In this scene, this flower seemed to appear from Eren's body when he transformed. The animator not only put the flower to show the symbol of the beauty inside the cruel world, but every situation that involved this flower, it's mean that moment happen. Because future Eren using his attack titan power to control Eren. Like we see in the beginning scene, when his future self make him dream, they also show this flower. Detail number 31. When they fought the Titans to protect Eren's Titan form from being eaten, we can see this Titan again. But remember, this Titan had already been killed in the building in this scene, when Armin planned out how to kill 7 Titans at the same time. Detail number 32. When they were doing the operation to seal back the gate and one Titan about to kill Jon, Annie came to save him in time. But notice that she used her Titan power to kick the Titan head down, because there is no way she can kick that Titan head down using her human strength. Detail number 33. When Eren was locked in the jail cell, he imagined what his friends were doing in the cafeteria, and one of the friends that he thought about was Marco and Annie. It's very sad that he didn't know Annie killed Marco while he was trying to save humanity. Detail number 34. Notice that this is the first time they show 4 symbols in the same room in the court. The sword sign is for the trainee squad, the bird's wing sign is for the scout legion or the survey group, whose job is to fight in the front row or outside the wall. Next is the stationary guard, whose job is to protect a specific town. They don't move around like the scouts. And the 4th is the military police, which is to protect the city in the interior wall. This one only attracts selfish and weak people, very similar to real life. Detail number 35. When Eren shouted at the idiots in the courtroom, there were 2 voices that came out from his mouth. It was because the future Eren made him say all of that, and notice he said, "Let me do it alone and put your faith in me." This was a foreshadowing of him planning everything out alone and letting his people enjoy the life of his creation. Detail number 36. In this scene, the animator wanted to reveal to us that the Titan power is always active, because Eren can grow his tooth back even without transforming into a Titan. Detail number 37. Some people wonder why they always put Eren in the dungeon, knowing that he can grow big. If Eren lost control and transformed, wouldn't the castle crash down? But notice that even though the Titans are strong and big, the castle is way bigger than the Titans. He even struggled to lift a boulder that was only a bit bigger than him. How could he crash down the castle that was 50 times bigger than him? Detail number 38. The unknown fact is that Captain Levi is the cleanest person among them, because people inside the wall do not shower that much, but they are used to the stinky smell. Only Captain Levi hates stinky smell, even though he grew up in poverty. That's why he makes them clean the castle. Detail number 39. Notice that the commander is using wood as a ruler. In fact, there was not a single piece of plastic that has been found, because they were trapped inside the wall for so long that they never discovered plastic at all. Detail number 40. When they were on the mission outside the wall led by Commander Erwin Smith, notice that only his horse was white and everyone else had the same brown horse. White color show the symbol of the leader. Detail number 41. Notice that Reyna broke his side and came out of nowhere, like he came to save Armin. But the truth was that he was just trying to follow Annie, just in case she was in danger, so he could transform and help her in time. Detail number 42. Notice that when Annie grabbed Reyna, he didn't just cut her hand off. But notice that she took her time to look at her palm. It was because Reyna cut her skin as a word to tell her where Eren actually was. Detail number 43. In this scene again, Annie did break Reina's head, but he could regenerate it back immediately, just like Eren grew his tooth back. But Reina had more experience, and he could regenerate faster. Just look at the smoke that came out of his body. It was literally coming out of his body, not the female Titan smoke. Detail number 44. Notice that after Annie wiped out these soldiers, she just stood there for a few seconds before she continued. It was because she used too much of her power, so she had to draw back her power from the sunlight a little bit. Detail number 45. When they were on the mission to lure the female Titan, we can spot some high mountains. But notice that Armin didn't even know what a mountain was. He called it a giant rock that we would never climb to the top. The animator should have drawn the mountains a little smaller to match the accuracy of the storyline. Detail number 46. Notice that the reason why Eren couldn't transform was because he didn't hold his necklace like before. The trick was not that necklace, but he had to touch something that was metal. Even Annie had her metal ring on her at all times. More than holding some metal piece, it also required strong mentality too. When he tried to grab the spoon, he felt like he wanted to eat but couldn't grab it. It was the feeling of needing help or needing something but not being able to get it by his human form that could make him transform too. Detail number 47. The reason why they had to capture the female Titan inside the tall forest was not only because it was easy for them to hide, but also because, like I said before, the Titans draw power from the sun, so they are weak and can hardly regenerate their limbs under the shade of the forest. Detail number 48. When Annie's Titan form screamed and made all the Titans run after her into the forest while they were capturing her, Sasha said she had also heard that sound before. It was like a woof sound. But what she actually heard was the Beast Titan, which had the ability to turn normal people into Titans. Detail number 49. When all the Titans in the forest ran after Annie and ripped her skin off, if you watch in slow motion, you will see that Annie did escape in a single frame, but it happened too fast and we wouldn't notice it at that time. She had hidden her equipment inside her Titan body, so it was easy for her to escape. Detail number 50. The reason Eren's Titan form was shocked before Annie kicked his head off was not because he was scared, but because he saw that she showed her fighting move that was similar to Annie's move. But he just refused to accept the reality and put the pieces together. If he had not been shocked and frozen by her movement, he would have still been fighting and not gotten eaten. Detail number 51. Annie did not cry because she failed her mission, but because she had to kill her friend. She respected Eren for his compassion, unlike most people who lived inside the wall. Detail number 52. Notice that Captain Levi spared her life, even though he usually does not let his enemies escape. He injured his leg, so he had no chance of winning this fight against the female Titan. That is why he let her live. I am confident that he can easily defeat the female Titan because he also managed to take down the Beast Titan twice without any trouble. Detail number 53. This scene, where Captain Levi's team dies because Eren trusts in them, is also the moment he starts to follow his conscience and make the sacrificial plan that his future self is doing. Captain Levi's words play a big part in his turning point. Detail number 54. This is a very sad detail. When the soldiers returned to Wall Rose, some Titans chased them, so they had to drop their friends' dead bodies to make the horses run faster. But notice that the last body that they dropped was Petra's. If only the soldiers had dropped a different 𝐏𝐫𝐨𝐝, they could have returned Petra's corpse to her father. Detail number 55. Notice that every dream that Eren has is not just a random dream, but his future self using his power to remind Eren what his goal is and to focus on pursuing it. Detail number 56. In this scene, when they talk about their plan to capture Annie alive, notice that Captain Levi is drinking black tea. This might not be a detail in the anime, but in the manga, it is shown that he loves tea so much and wants to open a tea shop one day. This makes sense, since he is from the Ackerman clan, which is Asian. Detail number 57. Mikasa's name is actually derived from the name of a famous Japanese warship to resemble her as a weapon. Detail number 58. Mikasa has killed the most Titans on screen as a human, more than Captain Levi. But off-screen, Levi has killed more Titans than her, because he has been in the Scouts for many years. And Eren has killed the most Titans in his Titan form. Detail number 59. Notice that Captain Levi trusts Jean Kirsten to join this mission to capture Annie and not any other of Eren's friends. This is because Jean is bad at hiding his feelings, so Captain Levi sees through him as a good person. Moreover, he looks similar enough to Eren to disguise as him if we compare him to others, so they have to bet on him that he is on their side without any choice. Detail number 60. Notice that when the Archbishop makes people pray to the God of the Wall during the female Titan's attack on 𝐿 the way that they stand in a circle is 3 circles after one another, representing the 3 walls. This is a very thoughtful detail. Even the Archbishop's necklace has 3 lines, like the 3 walls. Detail number 61. Their religion is not completely fake. Their God is actually real, but not a he, but actually a she. She is Ymir, the slave who swore to protect her king bloodline, which is Eldian people. Detail number 62. When the female Titan fights with the attack Titan in 𝐿, we can see that she almost pushes a building down, making it tilt. This is also inspired by a famous real-life building called the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I guess in the Attack on Titan universe, this building leans because of Annie's push. Detail number 63. Notice that the reason why Annie can climb and break the wall is because she also uses the crystal power, which is as strong as the material of the wall, which is also made of Titans. Detail number 64. Notice Jean Kirsten's words when he says to Armin, "If the only way to win is to turn all of us into monsters, we don't deserve to win." This is the complete opposite of what Eren does for them at the end of the story. He makes the Eldian people win by making them not monsters, but heroes who try to stop him from destroying the world. Detail number 65. In case you didn't know, Annie didn't age at all when she trapped herself inside the crystal, which made her younger than her friend when she came back out in Season 4. Detail number 66. It is ironic that Marley's people want to kill off the Eldians because the Eldians used the Titans to destroy them in the past. But notice that they also use the Titan power to go to war with other countries. I think Marley's mindset is nonsense. If they were really a good country, they would only use the Titan power to fight the Eldians and no other countries that only have human soldiers. The country that should be destroyed is Marley, not the rest of the world. I cannot stand their mindset that they are an angelic country full of good people. This kind of country is like a devil hiding behind an angel's mask, just like some countries in real life that you already know. That country is Marley in real life. You know which country I am talking about, right? And some countries are painted as devils just because they fight to protect and reclaim their land from the historical wars. Think about it. That's all for today's video. Click the video on the screen to watch Attack on Titan Season 2 detail. But if I didn't upload yet, click subscribe to not miss any update.